I want to give you an update on what's going on with our Paris Avenue project. We've kind of made some steps. Many of you know that in the fall of last year, near the last quarter, we were able to finalize a purchase of a property on Paris Avenue. I'm going to show you that picture there. It's 16,000 square feet, 4 buildings. It was originally a Presbyterian church that was planted in the late 40s, early 50s. And then when Hurricane Katrina came and hit our city, it was devastated, sat vacant for a really long time. And then a few years ago, another group started trying to repurpose it and put it all back together, but they were unable to finish the project. And so last September, on our 7th birthday, everybody, on the day, we signed to own our very first piece of property. And to God be the glory, right? It's pretty exciting, I think. You know, Joshua, in the book of Joshua, said that they marched around Jericho 7 times. We did it for 7 years, all right? That's what we did. Joshua ain't got nothing on us, right? Guys, 7 years we've been driving around the city and believing for God to show us a place and to provide it for us. And so we now possess it, but when we jumped into a project that was about 80% complete, because unfortunately, it was taken over. Lots of long story there, but we had to discover what's working here, what's not working there. It seemed like we had air conditioning everywhere, but none of it worked. We found out that none of it had power and none of it had been installed. Lots of things like that. And so going to show you a graphic of the layout of the property. We're in what we're calling phase 1. We're close to finishing it, where we're basically closing the existing permit that was left open for almost 3 years. And the HVAC to the entire property, that's been going on over the last few months. And unfortunately, lots of discovery, lots of we didn't know that was happening, and a little bit of frustration for you, Pastor. Can I say I suffer from a disease called impatience sometimes. And with all that's happened with Hurricane Ida, construction has been very challenging. And so we've been completing that. The other part of the phase 1, show them the next graphic there, is that we were able to renovate entirely the office spaces, because we are here on Sundays, but we had another office. But when we purchased this property, we decided to try and move in as quickly as possible. So what's been going on the last few months is renovating these spaces and furnishing them. And our entire staff has been able to start working out of the property. Can we show you a couple of pictures of just some of the offices that you see them? Oh, looking good, right? Come on, show the next few. They're going to roll through them real quick. And got one more. I like this one right here. And then here's the desk that I said I cried at last week, everybody. Okay. So I had a little moment, where we finally got in and the desk was there. And it's like, God, you're answering our prayers. So we're beginning what we would say now. That's phase 1, just about completed. All of the things that we didn't know were wrong with the property. And then we're going into phase 2 real soon. And phase 2, the first part of that is to install state-of-the-art audio and visual systems in the main auditorium and in the theater on the property. So we have 2 venues, pretty exciting. And the main venue seats about 350 people. So similar to what's on the floor here, but then instead of the stadium in the back here, we've got a second level with more seats up there. Pretty exciting. Phase 2 is also going to take us to enclosing the property. So what you can't see from this is that all 4 buildings are actually separate. Back in the day when you went to Presbyterian church, when you wanted to drop off your kids to kids church, you had to go back outside. And it's 95 degrees here in the summer with 85% humidity. And that's like a full-on sweat just to get to kids' church, right? So we are enclosing a brand new foyer, a foyer in the back. We're actually enclosing the hallways, installing a new ramp into the actual where the auditorium is, adding some bathrooms on the right side over here. And then most importantly, a coffee room in the middle. Can I get an amen right there? Because highly caffeinated people enjoy Jesus more. And so that's happening in phase 2 as well. And then last but not least, one more. We're going to turn the back kids wing into state-of-the-art kids facilities, finish the fencing and the landscaping. Our dream is that we're going to be able to complete this over the next 4 to 6 months. I can't give you a hard deadline because of all that's happening in our city with storm damage. And it's been really, really hard. I've tried to nail them down, like, give me a date. And they're like, we can't yet, okay? And so y'all pray for my impatience and pray for them to move faster. Can I get an amen, right? I also want you to know that, as we told you earlier, the entire project is about a $3 million project for us. We're doing the best we can to keep it there. And by the grace grace of God, we've saved a little over $1 million that we put down on the project to purchase it. I'm always very, very clear with you guys what we're doing financially to inspire you, but also to never pressure you into doing this. To be able to move into the project on time, we need to raise minimally about $500,000. And then maximally, we could do it without any debt. We could just see what God will do. And so over this next season, would you pray and say, God, how should I be a part of that $500,000 minimally? How could I be a part? What should I give? Now, your tithes and offerings, we're already operating as a church. We typically operate with about 25% margin. So we're taking that margin and putting it towards the building. To God be the glory, right? And listen, but here's what I'm saying to you. Pray and say, how should you be a part? Minimally, we need to raise $500,000. And then maximally, we do it without any debt. Can we give God some glory for that? Amen, everybody? Come on, give him a great hand.